This is Shanelle, who features in the photograph, and she was a big part of the project. And how I met her was through a guy. He was working at Kingston University. He was doing project work for young people, trying to bridge gaps and make photography more accessible to young people, doing really great things. And he was saying I had to meet Shanelle, and I'm so glad I did. So I'll let her share where her story starts in Muay Thai and tell her a little bit about herself. So how did you start Muay Thai?
I started when I was about 9 years old. My whole family was sporty, so my dad used to do it to distract us, actually come back from school. He used to take us running, football, swimming, athletics, to keep us mainly off the streets and keep us disciplined. And one day, my brothers used to do a bit of boxing, and one day he took me to the gym, and I just fell in love with it there, and it just became my salvation from there. I used to go after every school, I used to go train. My friends would go out partying, doing the wrong things on the streets, and I just said, no, I can't do it, I have to go training. So
it put that discipline, that thing in your mind that I'm not going to do what they're doing, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And what was it that made you so committed? Because it's so easy to do a sport and still do bad things.
Yeah.
Like, what made you so committed?
I'm lucky because when I found the sport, I was surrounded by world champions, people traveling around the world, people getting a lot of money. And so I was surrounded by people that inspired me. So I looked up to them, and I was just like, oh, I want to be them. I could become them. Could they come from the same area as me? Or other people, other children, they're in the streets and their oldest they look up to are going to jail. And that's the only people that they're surrounded with that they're going to come a part of. But I surrounded myself with people that inspired me. And so, yeah, I just wanted to become one of them.
So it's like a different unit. Like, not that social unit that was beyond the doors. It was like a safer.
Yeah, and they became my family as well. Like, I see them inside and out of training. I love them to pieces. We train together, laugh together, cry together, have our happiest moments, have our saddest moments.
Yeah.
And yeah, just love it.
And so you talk about that as well, like cry together. The image that is most powerful, and well, there were several images, to be fair. It was hard for me to pick which one I was going to go for. I actually let other people help me select, and that one with you holding the photograph of your friends, it speaks something because your face is speaking something. Do you want to share the meaning of that photograph? Because it doesn't mean anything to the audience unless you say.
My mate Dyer Shepherd, he sadly passed last year, July the 11th. It was his first 30th birthday party, and unfortunately he got murdered by his younger brother in his birthday party, which I was at, but left an hour before. And he was such a big part of my journey, because he's someone like me, someone coloured like me, coming to the MMA. Like, you never see people like me and him doing big things. And I know his story. He was in and out of jail. He was living on the streets. He had such a hard upbringing, and he turned his life around. And he was like one of the top prospects in the whole UK, and he was part of our gym. He used to train the young ones and stuff like that. He was such an amazing person. But unfortunately, this happened, and it devastated our whole gym. But it made our gym become even more closer, and made us realise that we need to do this for him. So I took his name, The Nightmare, and so I'm living his dream as well. We had the same dream.
I asked Shanelle to bring a couple of things that were important. I asked her to bring her belts first. I knew what I was planning to do with the belts. I asked her to bring something of importance. So Shanelle brought this image. I didn't know much about this story that she just shared. She shared with it then. But as I was shooting, I felt things, and I she's so young and what she's experienced, and I know the areas that she's talking about. I know the lack of opportunity there are for young people. It's like, if you're a bit different and you show that it's possible to live a dream or reach for something that's not within your reach, it's big. It's big. What she's doing is big. Her image spoke to me. She spoke to me. She didn't need to say an awful lot. I think that's why it means so much. She communicates a lot without saying it. So on her Instagram and all her pages and everything that she's interviewed on, I see this very different girl. But I felt that time when we had our shoot, it was, I feel like I connected with a very different girl. So yeah, like it means something to me when people like this open up, and that's why the picture stands out. That's why she stands out. I just want to see her grow and be amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, I think it's amazing, the project. She's trying to inspire the youth, try to get them off the streets. Like, if she can even inspire at least one person, then she knows she's saved someone's life. So I just think that's really inspiring. Not a lot of people go into photography, and I think what she's doing is amazing.
Thank you. God, it made me cry.